The story begins on a bright city street in the morning, where two vehicles race down the road. One car pursues another in a violent chase, attempting to force a woman's vehicle to halt. The aggressors want to rob her, and she has no choice but to pull over. Masked figures emerge, wielding firearms and threatening her. They shatter her window and reach inside to drag her out. A well-dressed gentleman walking nearby witnesses the assault and intervenes. The criminals pause and recognize him: Randall Thompson. As Randall attempts to de-escalate the situation, the terrified woman suddenly breaks free and runs. Without hesitation, one of the attackers fires, striking her in the leg. Randall immediately moves to shield her. The masked men turn their weapons toward Randall and open fire. He collapses to the pavement. While one panics, the shooter fires again, delivering a fatal shot. As they search Randall's pockets, they discover a police badge and hastily take it before fleeing. Across the street, a store owner observes everything and immediately contacts the authorities. Days later, a funeral takes place for Randall Thompson. He was highly respected for his military service and reputation as a skilled mercenary. His daughter Anya attends, accompanied by her teacher Karl. During the service, Randall's brother Karl arrives unexpectedly. With no other living relatives, his presence brings Anya unexpected comfort. Karl intends to remain in town. While walking home together, Karl learns the neighborhood is dangerous territory where Randall consistently confronted gang activity. Anya reveals that Randall had always wanted Karl to visit, but he never came. Karl firmly promises he's staying this time. Later, near the school grounds, Karl observes a group of young men harassing a woman. He approaches to check on her, but she departs without speaking. The same group then follows Karl, attempting to intimidate him. A patrol car appears and temporarily scares them off, but once the police leave, they return and discharge weapons at Karl. He evades the gunfire and the gang speeds away. Afterward, Karl reunites with his old friend Joey. Karl requests assistance in identifying his brother's killer and determining gang involvement. Joey agrees immediately. That evening, they meet at a bar to strategize. Joey reveals that the store owner who witnessed the murder refuses to cooperate. The killer is a student from Lantro High School affiliated with a gang called the Brotherhood. They disguise themselves in hooded sweatshirts worn backward with cutout eye holes. The following day, Karl visits Kara. The school is hiring a substitute for the most challenging class. Karl expresses interest, mentioning his experience training people in self-defense. Kara instructs him to obtain certification and promises to assist with his application. Anya returns to school and reunites with her closest friend Danny. Karl arrives searching for the registrar's office and encounters Warren Drummond, a mechanics teacher who offers directions. In the special education section, Karl notices the students resemble gang members more than typical teenagers. When Karl enters the classroom, absolute chaos reigns. Students are celebrating, consuming soft drinks, dancing, and engaging in romantic activities. One student named Dontae instructs them to lower the music. Karl announces he's their new substitute teacher. He observes a student with a cast and then produces a yo-yo. He explains that 4 centuries ago in the Philippines, it served as a weapon. Without warning, he launches the yo-yo and shatters a soda bottle. Never judge people by appearances. The room falls silent. Many students observe Karl intently, already planning to test him later. In the staff lounge, Karl meets other teachers who appear exhausted and defeated. Warren invites Karl for a walk and questions why he selected that particular class, possibly attempting to intimidate him. Elsewhere, Anya encounters Dennis, who's driving a Mustang. She admires it, and he offers transportation. She accepts. Karl and Joey are tracking students they suspect belong to the Brotherhood. They follow them to an abandoned industrial facility. Inside, the gang is torturing the store owner who witnessed the murder. Karl and Joey infiltrate unnoticed and observe the man suspended by his arms, being beaten. Joey walks in unarmed while Karl positions a device to assist. To demonstrate his seriousness, Karl shoots gang members in the leg. Joey aims his weapon at the leader. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, the gang leader frees the captive. Joey instructs them not to move until the red laser targeting dots disappear. At home, Anya and Dennis are in her room kissing. Suddenly, Karl arrives home and Anya panics, telling Dennis to sneak out. That evening, some students from the special class plan a vehicle robbery. Mace, the boy with the radio, breaks into another vehicle. Joey watches them from the shadows. Elsewhere, Karl spends the evening with Kara. Randall wasn't just his brother, but also his partner. Randall was a mercenary. Karl became a teacher because Randall inspired him to make a difference. Suddenly, Karl receives a call from Joey. Joey explains he planted a bait car and Dontae and Mace stole it. Karl quickly agrees to meet. Joey shows him where the stolen vehicle was taken and plays Karl a recording of the gang discussing their plan to eliminate Karl. The next day, Karl arrives at school acting normally. Dontae greets him sarcastically. Karl begins teaching. One student with a broken arm feigns illness and requests bathroom permission. He actually sneaks off to admit gang members through the rear entrance. In the classroom, Mace plays music loudly on his radio, ignoring Karl. After multiple warnings, Karl decides to teach a lesson about deadlock, a situation with no apparent solution. In the absence of compromise, Karl throws Mace's radio out the window. The entire class suddenly falls silent. Mace becomes angry and produces a knife, but Karl easily disarms him and confiscates the weapon. Karl explains he's not trying to humiliate anyone. He simply wants the class to understand he's in charge and desires to help them. He mentions that Keyshawn, the student who left for the bathroom, hasn't returned. Karl decides to investigate. In the boys' bathroom, Karl calls out for Keyshawn and begins searching. Suddenly, gang members materialize behind him, but thanks to Joey's warning, Karl is prepared. He utilizes his combat skills to defeat them one by one. Back in class, Keyshawn hears the commotion and rushes in excitedly, telling others that Karl is probably being beaten, but Mace doesn't participate. As the fight concludes, Karl calmly adjusts his tie. The janitor he met earlier enters and compliments Karl's combat abilities. The janitor introduces himself as Jonathan Bartee. He recognizes Karl's techniques as those used by Green Berets. Jonathan served in the 1st Battalion in 1971 and 1972. The attackers weren't genuine students. Jonathan recognizes that Karl is clearly more than just a high school teacher. Jonathan offers to handle the situation and instructs Karl to return to class. He asks Karl to meet him in the basement later. Back in class, Karl enters as if nothing occurred. When class ends, Karl asks Mace to remain behind. Karl believes Mace can transform his life, but Mace becomes angry. His father is imprisoned, his brother was murdered, and he doesn't even know his mother's whereabouts. The gang is all he possesses. Karl tells him he still has the power to choose a different path. Mace, upset, returns the yo-yo Karl gave him and departs. Later, Karl meets Jonathan in the basement. Jonathan reveals a private collection of items from his military service. Karl opens up. He's trying to find the person who killed his brother Randall. Jonathan mentions hearing strange noises at night. People come and go at inappropriate times. Karl suggests they investigate together with another ally. Later that day, Anya is walking home when she's stopped by Brotherhood gang members. They threaten her. She needs to prevent Karl from investigating their business. That night, she tells Karl. He instructs her to stay home for the next few days. That night, Karl, Joey, and Jonathan meet at the school to investigate the noises. Jonathan leads them through a secret passage. Karl goes ahead and discovers Warren and some students working on vehicles. Karl informs the others that Warren is operating a chop shop. Warren is dismantling 3 or 4 cars weekly and selling parts below market value. They estimate he generates over $100,000 monthly. Meanwhile, Warren receives a call from Dontae. The police located one of their stolen cars, and there was a chase. Mace is dead. Warren shows no emotion. The next morning, Karl gathers the students and sees them grieving, except for Dontae. Mace took a risk and faced the consequences. Karl disagrees. School isn't a battlefield, and no student should die. Dontae responds that the real world is a battlefield. Dontae says the police killed Mace, not him. But Karl suspects Dontae had a role in Randall's death. After school, Karl visits Kara and inquires what kind of person Warren truly is. Warren is well liked at school, but outside he's cold and controlling. He once attempted to date her, but she declined because of his possessive nature. The next day, Karl approaches Kara and asks her to investigate Warren's background and employment history. While they talk, Warren observes them from a distance, looking suspicious. Later that day, when Karl is at home with Joey, Kara calls. She found something online and asks Karl to come over. Before they leave, they remind Anya not to open the door for anyone. But at Kara's house, someone knocks shortly after. She opens the door and is surprised to see Warren holding food. Kara doesn't feel safe, so she conceals the file she was planning to give Karl. Warren keeps talking, pretending he just wants to be friendly. Meanwhile, Anya secretly leaves the house to visit Danny. He welcomes her inside, and they spend time in his room. Danny tries to become intimate too quickly. When he steps into the bathroom, she looks around. Then something shocking happens. She finds her father's police badge in Danny's drawer. She searches more and discovers the Brotherhood gang outfit in his closet. She quickly gets dressed to leave, but Danny returns. Anya confronts him. Did he kill her father? Danny tries to explain. Her dad was interfering with the Brotherhood's money. As their argument intensifies, Danny grabs a knife, but Anya knows karate. She kicks him forcefully and breaks a glass over his head. She escapes. Back at Kara's place, Warren suddenly attacks her. He throws her across the room, revealing his true violent nature. He punches her repeatedly, wanting to know what Karl is really planning. Finally, Kara reveals the truth. Karl is Randall's brother. She attempts to run upstairs, but Warren chases her down and strikes her repeatedly. Then he shoots her, killing her instantly. Warren tells his men to kill Karl. As he exits the building, he spots Karl and Joey arriving. Warren hides, waiting for the opportune moment. Fortunately, Karl and Joey don't see him. Inside, Karl is devastated to find Kara dead. He also finds the file she was going to show him. Warren was a former United States Marine Corps agent. He was discharged with honor, but under special circumstances. He was suspected of conducting illegal missions in Honduras in 1986. At home, Anya tells Karl what she discovered. Danny is the one who betrayed her. He's the killer. Danny only did it to prove to Warren that he was important. That night, Karl grabs his weapon, ready to finish everything. Joey picks him up, and they drive to the high school. Joey counted 2 full cars of gang members. The gang arrives shortly after, entering the school armed with guns and rifles. Karl and Joey meet up with Jonathan, who opens the gate for them, but the gang is already pursuing, and a gunfight erupts. The school transforms into a war zone. Several gang members sustain serious injuries, but Karl, Joey, and Jonathan remain safe. They move into another room and shut the door. Joey reveals he's been shot. Karl looks around and sees a gas tank. He positions it near the door, and when the gang starts shooting again, the tank explodes, forcing them back. This gives the trio a chance to escape. Jonathan leads them through a tunnel to a hidden room where he keeps old weapons. They reload and prepare for the next attack. The gang keeps coming, but now they're losing more people. After a prolonged shootout, Jonathan throws smoke bombs. As the smoke clears, Karl grabs the boss while Joey and Jonathan hold off the others. In the confusion, the gang accidentally shoots their own boss. In another room, Karl confronts the wounded boss. Warren Drummond, the mechanic teacher, is the mastermind behind everything. Karl wastes no time and heads straight to Warren's classroom. He interrupts class and demands Warren admit he killed Kara. Warren, shocked and nervous, tries to deny everything. Instead of admitting the truth, Warren tells the students about Karl's past as a mercenary. Then he tries to open a suitcase to retrieve a gun, but Karl stops him before he can use it. A brutal fight begins. Both men are trained and dangerous. Warren grabs a fire extinguisher, but Karl knocks it from his hands and kicks him in the face. Warren fights back, but Karl grabs a light bulb and presses it into Warren's eye, badly damaging it. The students watch, unsure who to support. Warren won't give up and keeps fighting. Karl slams him to the ground repeatedly. Meanwhile, Anya watches from upstairs and rushes down to help her uncle. The fight continues with both men using all their skills. At one point, Warren grabs a screwdriver and stabs Karl in the arm. Karl, in pain, still strikes back forcefully. The students watch closely, wondering if Karl has been fatally stabbed, but he gets up. Finally, Karl stabs Warren in the stomach, ending his life. Everyone watches silently. No one seems to mourn Warren. After a brief moment of silence, Anya and Joey surround Karl and thank him for everything he's done. Jonathan claps and tells the students to head back to class. The show is over. As everyone walks away, Dontae shows kindness for the first time. Karl looks like he could use a doctor and a vacation. In the end, everything seems settled. Karl thanks Joey for being there through it all. Sometime later, Karl and Anya visit Randall's grave. They leave flowers and Randall's badge. Anya is keeping the house and invites Karl to stay, but Karl is proud of her, and he has to leave. They share a warm embrace, and the story ends.